Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to Irish Quarantine Tunes, day 38. It is Tuesday the 28th of April and I'm going to start out the day with a jig. It's called Garryowen, all one word. This jig actually made it across the Atlantic and was very popular during the Civil War. So you'll find lots of recordings of it with Civil War reenactment bands and other folks like that, pipers and such. So here's a jig for you called Garryowen. All right, Garryowen, an old Irish jig that made its way to the United States around the time of the Civil War with probably some Irish soldiers, maybe in the Irish Brigade. All right, let's see. The song I'm gonna do next is much more contemporary. It's only, not even about 47 years old. This was written in 1973 by Phil Coulter, who's mostly known as kind of a pop rock writer and singer. And this song is a little poppy, but it's become a folk song, well loved all over Ireland and all over the world. It's called "The Town I Loved So Well." And the Dubliners made it famous on their recording that Phil Coulter helped them on. And, you know, it's a great song. What I was reading about it, which I really kind of think is awesome, is that this was a song that was so meaningful and so approachable that it was sung by both Protestants and Catholics in Northern Ireland during the Troubles. So this became kind of a theme song for, you know, freeing the Troubles being over and free Derry. So Derry, of course, is one of the largest towns in Northern Ireland and was the center of a lot of the IRA activity as well as a lot of the repression from the English during the Troubles. So, all right, I'm going to try to do it justice. It's a great song, and I hope you sing along. The last line of every verse is the refrain, "The town I loved so well." This is by Phil Coulter about Derry during the Troubles. So. by the gas yard wall, and we laughed through the smoke and the smell. Going home in the rain, running up the dark lane, past the jail and down behind the fountain. Those were happy days in so many, many ways, in the town I loved so well. There was music there in the dairy air, like a language that we could all understand. I remember the day when I earned my first pay, as I played in a small pickup band. There I spent my youth, and to tell you the truth, I was sad to leave it all behind me. For I learned about life, and I found a wife in the town I love so well. But when I return, how my eyes have burned to see how a town could be brought to its knees by the armored cars and the bombed out bars and the gas that hangs on every breeze. Now the army's installed by that old gas yard wall, and the damn barbed wire gets higher and higher. With their tanks and their guns, oh my God, what have they done to the town I love so well? Gone, but they carry on, for their spirit's been bruised, never broken. They will not forget, for their hearts are set on tomorrow and peace once again. For what's done is done, and what's won is won, and what's lost is lost and gone forever. I can only pray for a bright brand new day in the town I love so well. In the town I loved so well. Great song by Phil Coulter. Things are better now. The only time I spent much time in Belfast was in 1987, and it was crazy. There was barbed wire and checkpoints and machine guns and tanks and underground jails and terror. And we made friends with some folks there that were Catholic, and we were walking in a neighborhood, and Brendan, our friend, said, "Don't say my name out loud. It'll put me in danger, because Brendan's a Catholic name." So, yeah. Enough said. I need to just keep playing. So. I also recall walking down the street to go to a session, and I had my fiddle with me, and the whole entire time I walked down the block, there was a soldier on the corner with his rifle trained on me because I look suspicious carrying a fiddle. It could be a gun or a bomb. All right, I'm going to do a couple of reels, And this one is the Dublin reel, and the second one is called the Earl's Chair. The Earl's Chair was written by Patrick Moloney, and I believe it refers to a geographic feature. It was like a stone outcropping, I think up in Sligo or Galway, that's supposed to resemble a chair, so it's named after that. So a couple of reels for you here. All right, a couple of reels. The Dublin reel and the Earl's Chair for you. It hasn't started raining and thundering and storming yet, so it's still nice out. Murray just headed out the house for a bike ride. Sandy just headed out with the dog. I'm hanging out here making some music. So, all right. So next up, I have a beautiful love song. Unrequited love, as usual, because those are the best ones. You know, I love that a quote that Oscar Wilde said that means a lot to me. He said, there are only two tragedies in life. One of them is losing your heart's desire, and the other is gaining it. So just think about that. There's no great songs about gaining your heart's desire. All the songs are about loss and sadness and all that. So this is one of those. I actually think this is probably my favorite love song. It was written in the 1970s by a fellow named Barney Rushe, alternately spelled Rush, R-U-S-H, or with an E on the end. Not clear because it's mixed. And a fellow that I love named Christy Moore, the Dublin folk singer, learned it from Barney and made it famous on an album back in 1976. So, the song is called Nancy Spain. Now, Barney would never let on as to who this song was actually about, but he did need a name for it, even if it wasn't the name of the woman in question. And he picked Nancy Spain because Nancy Spain was actually a prominent English journalist, a lesbian, a kind of a, I don't know, an adventurer, sounds like a wonderful character, and had a great name. Unfortunately, she died in a plane crash in Ireland, near Limerick in early 60s, I think, when she was only about 46 years old. So Nancy Spain is a real person. Where he got the name, and who the actual Nancy Spain is, we'll never know, because Barney's gone. So I hope you sing along. It's got a lovely chorus, and it's a great love song, and I learned it a long time ago from Johnny Hartigan, who's out in Austin, Texas. So this goes out to Johnny and all the Nancys in the world. So Nancy Spain by Barney Rushe. Of all the stars that ever shone, not one could twinkle like your pale blue eyes. Like golden corn at harvest time, your hair. Standing in my boat, the wind gently blows and fills my sail. Your sweet scented breath is everywhere. No matter where I wander, I'm still haunted by your name. The portrait of her beauty stays the same. Standing by the ocean, wondering where you're gone, if you'll return again. Where is the ring I gave to Nancy Spain? Daylight peeping through the passing nighttime curtains is your smile. The sun in the sky is like your laugh. Come back to me, my Nancy, and linger here for just a little while. Since you've left these shores, I've known no peace nor joy. No matter where I wander, I'm still haunted by your name. The portrait of her memory stays the same. Standing by the ocean, wondering where you're gone, if you'll return again. Where is the ring I gave to Nancy Spain? On the day in springtime, when snows start to melt and streams to flow, with the birds I'll sing this song. Then in a little while I'll wander down by bluebell groves where wildflowers grow, and hope that my Nancy will return. No matter where I wander, I'm still haunted by her name. The portrait of her beauty stays the same. Standing by the ocean, wondering where you're gone, if you'll return again. Where is the ring I gave to Nancy Spain? Where is the ring I gave to Nancy Spain? Nancy Spain, my absolute favorite love song, by Barney Rushe, made famous by Christy Moore. All right, Hope everybody's doing well today. It's a long pandemic and a long quarantine, but we got to put it all in perspective. Day 40 is coming up, which apparently is what the word quarantine came from. I'm going to keep going past that. We'll see how far I get. And it's great to see everybody on here whenever you can watch. Appreciate it. I've really been enjoying doing it. It's really pushing me on songs that I don't often do and tunes that I just haven't played in way too long. I've been doing some jigs and reels that I probably haven't played in 30, 40 years, so it's crazy. Really fun. All right. So I'm going to finish off with kind of an interesting tune. It's called Bonaparte Crossing the Rhine. The Irish seem to have a fascination with Bonaparte, with Napoleon. They called him Boney. And I did a song several weeks ago called Broken Hearted I'll Wander, which is about Bonaparte and the Napoleonic Wars. In this case, when these tunes came across the Atlantic, there was a lot of historical liberty with the titles and the facts. Because one name for this tune is Bonaparte Crossing the Rocky Mountains. I think he did actually cross the Rhine. I think he did actually cross the Alps, but he don't believe he ever made it to the New World, so who knows? What do I know about history? Okay, so this is called Bonaparte Crossing the Rhine. It's got different versions in the United States and in Ireland. It can be played as a march or a hornpipe. I'm going to kind of do it as a hornpipe. Let's see. All right. Thank you, everyone. That's going to be the end of the show. That one was called Bonaparte Crossing the Rhine, an old traditional tune played as a hornpipe. I want to give a shout out today to my workplace. I couldn't find my Kids Forward shirt, which is our new name over the last 3 years, but I did find my WCCF, Wisconsin Council on Children and Families, which is our old name. Some people know this. We're actually the oldest child and family advocacy organization in the United States, founded back in 1881, so we're coming up on 140 years in existence, working for kids and families, especially those furthest from opportunity in terms of racial equity and poverty. So we're now called Kids Forward, so you can look us up on there. This week we've been doing a great project on promoting the census. We had a children's art contest and got dozens of submissions and got them down to 10. So if you go to kidsforward.org, you can look at any of those pictures and vote. And the top 5, I believe, are going to get gift certificates, and it's been a great way to promote the census. 2 other things I'll just mention about my organization that we're doing currently is last week we started on a local project where we have donated spinach, fresh, wholesome spinach from a gleaning project. It's an organization called Healthy Food for All, and we were able to get 35 pounds of spinach and send it around to various child care centers so that they could share it with their families in this time of need. And one of the comments we got from a family was, "This is fantastic. It makes me feel like a real person. I've been eating noodles and nothing else for weeks." So we're happy to do that, and we're continuing that this week. And lastly, I think that many people know and have read that this pandemic is horrifically unequally affecting people, people of color, people of low income, people who have to go to work, people who don't have means to deal with this. And we are doing a lot of effort to publicize that and to make a call out to nonprofits, to the government, to everybody to say this needs to change. This was already a horrible problem before the pandemic. It's gotten much worse, and it's our job to make the world a better place, not just for ourselves, but for our community and our less fortunate brothers and sisters. So thank you for listening. Shout out to Kids Forward. I'll see you tomorrow for day 39 on Wednesday. Take care and be good.